Okay, so today I'll be doing a first impressions on this Wet n Wild Fergie eyeshadow primer. I picked mine up at Walgreens and I have the receipt right here. I paid $4.99 plus tax for it. This is just the packaging. And it just says, take on the day eyeshadow primer, prep and prime, and lasts all day and never creases. So that's what we're gonna put to the test. It's in a tube like this. Let me see if I can. Okay guys, so I just thought I'd show you a better close-up of the packaging. This is what it looks like. Then like I said, it just says prep and prime, lasts all day and never creases. So there's no colors or shades or anything, it's just all one shade. And this is what the actual packaging looks like. And then you'll see, you just undo the lid there, and then that's how you have it. So I'm just going to apply it a little bit to the back of my hand. So I have it there. And then you could use a brush for this. I'm just going to use my fingers. So I'm just going to apply like this and apply it onto my lid. It is kind of thick and it feels almost like a serum, or not necessarily oily. I'm also going to put a little bit underneath. Okay, so I zoomed you in so you can kind of see a comparison. This is the eye that has the Wet n Wild Fergie primer, and this is the eye with nothing on it. I guess it does conceal a little bit. This eye has a little bit of veining going on, and it looks like this actually did cover up quite a bit of it. It doesn't feel very tacky once it's dried. So now I'm just gonna apply a little bit of shadow just so you guys can get an idea of my first impressions of when I go ahead and put some shadow on my eyes. Okay, so I'm just gonna pat on the eyeshadow. It does seem to help the eyeshadow to stick and to make it pretty pigmented, you know, pretty true to the color that's in the pan. I'm gonna do a little bit of a crease color just to see if it blends well or if it kind of makes it, you know, patchy. So far so good. It really does help to make everything nice and pigmented. Now I'm just going to blend it out with a fluffy brush, and this will kind of let us know if it's going to be patchy or not. Alright, well I think everything is blending really well too, so I'm just going to finish up my eyes and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and finished the rest of my makeup. I have my full face of makeup on. So far the application and everything of all the shadows went on really smooth. Everything blended out really well. So far I'm really happy with the primer, and I really think it does help a lot to make the shadows come out even more pigmented. So now the next test is to see if it's going to crease or not. And that's my main problem that I have with the other primers that I used. Usually by, I don't know, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 o'clock, my eyeshadows have creased or faded. So we're just going to kind of put that to the test. Right now it is 11 o'clock, so I'll check back with you guys in a few hours and let you know how everything's going. Okay, so here's a nice little close-up where you can see how the shadows applied and how well everything blended out, and you can see there's no creasing or anything. Alright, so now it's about 2:30. I've had the eyeshadow primer on for a few hours now. And let's take a look and see how it's holding up. Well, there is a little bit of creasing going on already, so that's kind of a disappointment. Because it's been like, what, 4 hours? I wouldn't think that there should be any creasing going on yet. Okay, can you see the creasing there? It's like right in there. It's not terrible creasing, and the nice thing is that the color is still intact, but there is still creasing, so that right there doesn't really go with what the packaging is saying. But as far as the base goes and making the colors come out true, it's been good for that. We will come back in a couple hours and see if the creasing has gotten worse or if the color has faded at all. So I'll see you then. It is now 5:16 and normally I would do a first impression, you know, later on, or at least let it go until I'm about ready to go to bed and take off all of my makeup. But for this one, I think it's about as far as it's really gonna go. When it's creased like this, that's pretty much a deal breaker for me. I haven't been able to find a really good primer that doesn't crease within a few hours. So like this has been on for about 6 hours now, and it started to crease within the first few hours, which is pretty frustrating. I don't think that should be happening. I'm going to keep on using this for at least for a couple weeks and then see, maybe I needed to apply more or less or whatever. I'm gonna keep trying it, and then I'll give you guys an update probably on my Instagram within a few weeks, and let you know what I think about it overall after using it for a long period of time. If you guys have any suggestions, or you know, if there's a eye primer that you have tried that's worked really well for you, please let me know down below, because I definitely want to try out more. I want to find one that works really well. Even if I have to pay a little bit more for it, I'm okay with that. When you spend a lot of time on your makeup, it's really sad when within a couple hours it's already starting to fade or crease or whatever. I'm just going to zoom you in so you can see a close-up of what I'm talking about with the creasing. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. I hope you can kind of see the creasing that's happened. For the most part, I wouldn't say that the colors have faded, which that is a good thing. That's always a plus, you know, but the creasing is just what really bugs me. So, alright, so like I said, I want to hear from you guys. What are your favorite primers? Have you been able to find one that doesn't crease on you? Because that's really the main thing that I'm looking for. So if you have any ideas, please leave them below, because I would totally be willing to try them out. You know, even if they're high-end, whatever, I would love to try them if you guys have good things to say about them. So if you have any other first impressions that you would like to see, just leave them down below too, and then hopefully I can get around to doing those as well. Thank you so much for watching. Bye guys!